DJ Studio has been a game changer for me, and in this video, I'm going to show you the easiest way to create custom mixes for your events and particularly weddings. I'm going to give you 4 different examples today: a ceremony prelude mix, a cocktail hour mix, a dinner mix, so you can go run and eat real quick, and then we're going to make a custom first dance edit for my couple. And these are all real things I actually need that I'm going to do anyway with DJ Studio, so might as well turn on the camera and walk you guys through how I do it. Now before we start, let's talk about the elephant in the room, okay? I get it. DJ Studio is a powerful software, a little too powerful. If you're not familiar, it's basically a DAW. It's laid out like an Ableton, but it's super intuitive, very easy to use, and you can pretty much do anything with it. I mean, you can use stems, it detects key, it helps the order of the songs, it'll literally like analyze everything. I'm going to show you everything in a second, what it can do. When it comes to situations where crowd reading plays a factor, like during dancing, of course, and even during dinner, in my opinion, I always mix all the way through dinner, except for when I have to go eat real quick. Like, you should mix it yourself. You shouldn't be relying on pre-made anything, in my opinion, but you do what you like, and I'm just going to show you the awesome ways I use this to save me a ton of time when it comes to weddings. So let's have some fun. I need 3 different mixes for my upcoming wedding, and each mix kind of serves a different purpose. So I'm going to be using different features within DJ Studio for each individual mix, and we'll start simple. The first one is for my ceremony prelude. So this is what I'm going to play pretty much an hour or so prior to the ceremony starting, because you know you have early guests, like the old people get there super early for no reason, you know, so that way there's background vibes for that while they're being seated and whatnot. And basically for this, I'm just using violin music. So I went into Serato and I made a folder full of a bunch of Vitamin String Quartet, you know, violin cover kind of songs, and we're basically going to fade them all together so it's nice and smooth and beautiful. So we're going to go in here to DJ Studio, create a new DJ mix. All right, and then I'm just going to bring up, I have the violin instrumental here, right? So we're just going to select all. I had it selected already. Bring it in here, and then what DJ Studio is going to do, it's going to analyze all the tracks. It's going to run them through mixed in key, so the key will be super accurate, the BPM, everything. And then it's going to initially put them in the order that it thinks it should be based on my settings. But we're going to adjust the settings a little bit. All right, so everything was analyzed. It laid out all the songs and basically made the mix all ready for me, but we're gonna make a little adjustments. The first thing I wanna do is adjust how it's organized. So basically, since I'm mixing violin music, there's no beats, there's no, you know, drums or anything like that. I don't care at all about BPM. The only concern for me with this mix is that it's harmonically sound, right? So everything's in key beautifully because it's just violins at the end of the day. So to do that, right, I'm gonna click on Harmonize, and then I'm going to adjust my settings here. So I'm going to click fuzzy instead of mood. Mood is more, I mean, it says it right here, right? So like for the mood mixing, it's more just for like energy and stuff. So it might like not be perfectly harmonic all the time. It's more focused on like creating energy and whatnot. But the fuzzy is basically right here, prioritizes mixes that are likely to work harmonically, right? So we're going to select fuzzy here. And then I'm going to select this all the way to key, right? So I don't care about BPM, it's key only, right? And then we're gonna click this harmonize button so it basically does more mixed combinations. You'll see, right? Like 40, 50 million, whatever mixed combinations make. And then it's gonna reorder all these songs so they're sonically perfect, right? So everything's perfectly harmonically mixed all the way through, and they're not worried about BPM whatsoever. Another thing I actually forgot to do as well, if I go into harmony and then I have, oh, okay, so look, in the harmonized section right here, right? So I just did this. Under transitions, I also want to do this lengthen bars 1, and I also want to take off the synchronized tempo because I don't want it to adjust BPM at all. I just want it to fade in and fade out nice and easy. So I had to do that before. So we're going to harmonize that again, and then we're good. All right, now we're good. And then basically what I'm gonna do with this mix is I'm just gonna go through all the transitions and just make sure there's no dead air. I just don't want any dead air. I want it to fade in nicey, right? Pretty quick and easy, but I don't want any dead air. Like this first one right here, looks like we got dead air, right? Completely silent before it comes back in. So we're just gonna, basically this is your transition box. This moves the transition wherever you want it to be. And then this, you could just drag each song to change like where the song is on it, right? So if I wanted to transition further into the song or later, right? So I'm basically just gonna do the beginning of this part, and then this fades out right around here. And this seems like the right spot. And then as far as the transition, right? You go down here for transitions, I'm just doing 100% crossfade. So it's just a standard crossfade. This is gonna crossfade up, and then this is gonna crossfade down nice and easy. Maybe adjust this right here. All right, that's a little better. Okay, and then we're gonna, so what's cool about here too, like this doll, you can jump to where you need to go right here. So it makes it nice and easy. Same thing, looks like we have a lot of dead air here. I want this to be at the beginning. I'm just gonna drag this over. Nice and easy. Go right back here, same thing. Keep this in the beginning. Oh, I actually want it to start while it's ringing out. Look at that, beautiful. All right, we're gonna go over here. It looks like this, oops, it looks like this is not, yeah, there we go. So we're gonna drag the song over to where the sound starts, and then nice and easy. Drag this over, bring this over here. Oops, hit the wrong button there. That's good. This is the one we're working on here. Thing of beauty, right? We drag this over so it's beginning of this sound. Drag this transition box over so it's the end. Right, and so on. I'm gonna go through and adjust all these transitions real quick. Should take me about 10 minutes, and then we're gonna export. All right, so I pretty much got it to where I want it to be. So we're gonna just hit export here. Ceremony prelude mix. Prelude mix. Hit save. It's going to give you a couple options here, right? You can export as MP3, WAV, or FLAC. I'm going to do an MP3, make it nice and easy. Auto gain, use limiter, repitch audio with BPM changes. Doesn't really matter. Don't really need it because we're not doing BPM changes, so we'll just take that off and we'll do export. And then you're looking at, right, an hour and 17-minute mix here. And it's about 4 minutes to export. Took us about 10 minutes or so to knock everything out. And you're looking at 15, 20-minute mix. And before, I used to literally just set up my stuff and mix it myself. Just chill for an hour and just mix the whole thing myself, fade in and fade it out. And you guys would say, oh, why don't you use the DAW? Why don't you use this? I've never used a DAW in my life. Like, I've never learned that. It's very intimidating to me. Like, I really don't understand like how Ableton works or anything like that. And this is like, this program was the first thing that I tried where I was like, whoa, this is really easy. Like, I get this. I can totally do what I need to do in this. And, you know, so I'm not in any way, shape, or form a producer, but that's how easy and intuitive this program really is, you know? All right, so we got our ceremony mix. The next thing we have to make is a cocktail hour mix. And for this wedding, they want like a country vibe. So same thing, I went to my Serato, I pulled a bunch of country bangers, I put it in a folder, and then I'm gonna click create new mix here. We're gonna select DJ mix, and then I'm just gonna bring up this folder right here, country cocktail. We're gonna select all, drag it over, and it's gonna analyze everything and put it in order for us. Then we're gonna make some adjustments. All right, it's all analyzed and whatnot. Now, first of all, cocktail hour is in a separate room for this wedding, right? Most of my weddings are in a separate room, so I can't really live mix it. If it was in the same room, I would live mix it, and I encourage everybody to do so. But in this case, I can make a mix. It's gonna mix way better than anything else other than doing it live. And I kind of wanna focus not just on key, but also BPM, because I'm not trying to like totally beat mix these songs together and do all kinds of crazy stuff, but I want it to kind of be, you know, have the same flow, not have any, shoes in a dryer kind of sound. You know, God forbid, Aunt Donna chokes on an olive because the mix was so bad, on the speakers or whatever. So I'm gonna kind of change this. I'm gonna go through harmonize right here, like we did with the last one, but we're gonna change the settings, right? So the first thing I want to do is I want it to be still fuzzy because I care about key, but we're gonna put this slider in the middle, right? So it's 6 BPM. Tolerance, right? So it is focusing on BPM a little bit, and then we're going to turn the transition on. So I'm going to do by default 2-bar transition, and we can adjust like individual transitions as well, but I think 2-bar solid, and then synchronize the tempo for full, right? So this is going to basically take, when it's mixing into one song, the one song is going to sync the BPM, and then it's going to slowly, gradually bring the BPM to the regular, BPM of the song after it transitions, right? So it's always going to kind of be together. It's never going to be, you'll see, watch. So we're going to click harmonize. It's going to go through all the bajillions of combinations. Thank you. 59 million mix combinations. Now, just like with the last mix, I'm going to trust the order on this one. I'm not super picky about what order it goes in. You know, I want it, it's choosing the best thing for, you know, obviously for it to be harmonic, but also the BPM and whatnot. And we're just going to go through and kind of manually mess with the transitions and see how they sound. So. I like the first one. All right. Batting 1,000 so far. All right, try this one. Yeah, I don't like that. So we're going to actually, so basically I can move the song this way because it looks like that guitar for the Toby Keith song starts there. All right, that way the song, it doesn't start with like, you know, I don't want a lot of dead air, right? I want it to flow nice. So that's good. Same thing here. Looks like we have dead air. Yeah, we don't need crowd noise. So it ends right there on that note. So we're going to just take this transition and bring it over here. See how it sounds? Hell yeah. Same thing here, looks like it ends there. So we're gonna drag that right over to the ending. I was feeling the blues. I was feeling the blues. Hell yeah. All right, so we're gonna go through and do this on all of them. So it's nicey. This one's kind of weird. Sail with Captain Morgan. We don't need this crowd. We're going to start after the crowd here. Hold on. Never leave dry land. We will never leave dry land. I like that. That's the last thing there. We're going to go here. So, all right, Donk edit, right? Shouts to Donk. This is an intro edit. So we actually wanted to start. The song starts there, right? So we're going to move this song over so it kind of starts the word start. Bang. Over here. This is probably an outro, right? Yep, so we're going to actually move that right at the end there. Pretty good, pretty smooth. There's a short edit. We're gonna bring it to where it starts. All right, short. Beautiful. Start this right here. So this is a perfect example. I regret putting this song in here. So this song's a little too slow. I want to keep, Cockflower more upbeat. So we're going to go down here to playlist. We're going to select, so you see how this song's right here and it's in the order, right? You can also change the order of songs right here, but I like the order. We're just going to go here and delete the song. And then when you delete the song, it basically just brings the next song over, keeps the mix together, and that's it. That easy. I don't want any outro.
You think you're Elvis or something?
All right, not the most beautiful mix in the world, but it works for this. All right, I'm not going to be picky. All right, we don't want to cut off the first part, so we're definitely going to move this song over so you hear the... We're going to bring this volume up so it starts right away. So it doesn't fade in, because this song I feel like starts strong with those vocals. Baby, you a song. Let's move the transition over so. Baby, you. Maybe we'll bring it like not, doesn't have to be that harsh.
Baby, you a song. You make me wanna roll my windows down and cruise.
There we go. All right, next one.
Get your radio.
That was a good transition.
Get your radio.
That got me hyped. All right, how about over here? That ain't gonna work. We're gonna have to bring that over to the end here. All right, we're gonna go after the grass grows. Boom. I'm gonna start like right there. It's a little slower too, but it's a sing-along. We're gonna keep playing. Yeah, I'm gonna do it right at the end of the meh. Oops, right here. All right, I feel like that should be a longer. So this is a perfect example too. That should be a longer transition, right? Kind of cut off weird there. I don't like that. So we're gonna click the transition thing. We're gonna go down here and make it a 4-bar transition instead. So. You know what I mean? I feel like it sounds a little better. So now this chicken fried, you can't cut off that beginning part. Everybody knows that. And I also want the transition to start at the end here after the tip. A little further. And we don't need this to fade up. We could just do 0 right there. Just a hair off, huh? Is that because if we look here, the beat grid. If we do the beat grid right here, now it should be right on. The beat grid was just a little off with the first beat. There we go. Okay, it's that easy. You zoom in, you adjust it, right? Because it all snaps to a grid. So just like any DJ program, I guess. So, all right, we're gonna do this. This is dead air like crazy. That's not gonna work. All right, right at that last note, I want Chattahoochee to start. And we can start from the beginning here, right at the last note. This way. Let's start a little louder. Same thing. The beat grid's just a hair off. Maybe I'm being picky, but just a hair off there. So let's. There we go. Okay, Chattahoochee. All right, just knocked out a couple others and that's it. So we got ourselves a full mix here. Same thing, we're gonna export this bad boy, Country Cocktail, and let it export. And then for this, since we are doing some BPM transitions, we're gonna select the repitch audio for the transitions. And that's it. We can let it export. Bam. All right, so for this last mix, we're gonna make a mix for dinner. Now, I always mix through dinner, but what I've been doing lately, since DJ.Studio is here and I can do it so easily, is I'll make a little short mix for me to just go run and eat real quick. Just have a seat, eat, maybe 15 minutes tops long. And I try and make it where it's gonna build up the energy, right? Because most of the time, you know, it depends on the place too. I mean, some places serve you first, but a lot of times we're getting served last. So like, I don't wanna have slow music on while I'm eating real quick. So I kind of try and build up the energy, and that way when I get back, you know, people are already kind of bopping and whatnot. So I take some music from their playlist, right, that I think would work great for dinner. I throw it in a folder, and basically we're going to select, create a mix here, DJ mix, just like the last time. I'm going to bring up the little folder I have for them right here. We're going to select all and drag it over here. It's going to do all the analyzing. And for this one, since it's shorter and, you know, I think matters big time, really matters big time. It's going to piggyback what I mixed before. I'm really going to go through and fine tune this and make sure it sounds really, really, really good. And we're going to start with straight up the order, right? Let's go to harmonize here. 2 bars is fine, synchronized tempo. This is all fine. We'll leave it the way it is, but I'm going to go to the playlist section right down here, and I'm going to adjust the order, right? So King of Wishful Thinking, Things Can Only Get Better. I like that. I want to end on All Night Long because it's a super long song, and it's like, no, maybe end, yeah. Nothing from Nothing, Come and Get Your Love, Another One Bites the Dust, All Night Long. End on All Night Long. I think that'll be cool. All right, let's do that. All right, so we have that order. We're going to go to transition here, and let's go through each transition. So we'll zoom in. So this is a short edit, probably has an outro, I'm assuming, right? Definitely has an outro. So let's... So it kind of starts right around here, I would assume. And then this is also an edit. That starts right there. So we want the song to kind of start at that end there too. So too much. All right, so that sounds pretty good, but let's play with some of these settings here. Like, let's do a bass crossfade as well, so it's more smooth. I think that's perfect. That's perfect. So it mixes nice. All right, we'll go to the next one. Billy Preston, Nothing from Nothing. So I think I want it to start like right there. So if I hit solo here, yeah, so we would definitely want the transition, or no, the song to go over, so it starts there, right? All right, and let's mess around here. So unsolo this. This has an outro, I'm assuming. Right there, right? Right there. So we're going to move this transition over to start there, but let's get fancy. So one cool thing about DJ.Studio has stems built in. So you can actually use the stems to mix, right? So it just analyzed, broke down the stems, right? Drums, bass, melody, vocals, just like Serato. And I want to swap the melody. Yeah, because like instead of having the dun, have the dun, 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 dun. I think it's going to sound really good. But I want it to swap right away. Right now it's swapping halfway through the mix. No. We're going to do it right away. So I'm just going to drag this over, and then we're going to drag this over here. So it's just swap right away. We're also going to, let's cross fade the bass maybe, right? I like that. I like that. All right, cool. So I basically went through and tweaked all the rest of the transitions. I'm exporting now. Have about an 18-minute mix, plenty of time to eat or whatever, tail end of dinner there. And then we're going to get to the next example. All right, so we made some mixes, but let's do something a little more unique, okay? Let's actually make a custom mashup and mix, essentially, for this couple. So what they want is this song called Together. They actually tried to do it themselves and couldn't, it didn't really line up well. And they sent me 3 separate tracks. They sent me the original track, it's like an EDM track. They sent me a piano cover of it that's actually slowed down. And then they sent me what they tried to do. So I kind of have a feel for what they tried to do. And basically we're going to have to make this happen. First, we're going to have to make the first dance part of it where we're going to extract the vocals from the original track and put it over this slow piano track. And then we're going to make a mix out of it because then it's going to transition into the original kind of like drop and whatnot. So for the first part, we're going to make the mashup using the mashup thing that they just came out with, right? It's basically a whole mashup mode. It's still beta, but it's pretty cool. So in new 3.1, if you're watching this, it's out now, right? Basically click on mashup, and it's a little different than the mix thing. You basically have a master channel and then you have sample channels. And basically you put a song into master, and whatever's in master, it's going to automatically match the BPM and lock everything to whatever the master is. So, you know, it's going to be pretty easy to do this. So first I'm going to take the files. So I'm going to take the piano only file. I'm going to put it into the master. So this is the piano part in the exact tempo, everything they want for their first dance. So we're going to put that in like this. Then we're going to take the song they want me to mix with it. We're going to put that in this channel right here, right? It's called Together by Martin Garrix. And it is basically an EDM song, right? So just by adding these two, right, because piano only is on there, it automatically matches the BPM with this second song here. So what we need to do here is, first of all, we need to split it. We need to basically take the stems out of it. We got to take the whole instrumental out, and all we need is the vocals for this. So we're going to go down here, and we're going to split acapella and instrumental. It does it that fast, right? So this is the acapella of it. So basically we're going to take this and delete this now, and this should be the acapella. And we're going to bring this here, put it right under.
Diamonds in the dust.
Bang, just that easy, right? And it just goes, there's no instrumental.
Together.
Does it so fast, so quick. And I just want to have this lined up right? So we're going to just solo this out. So it looks like it kind of starts there. This is like the intro. Dun, dun. That's where it starts. So that's when we want. That's where we want the music to start, or the vocals, right? Let's see if it's right.
Diamonds in.
It's a little off here, right? We're gonna
Diamonds in. Diamonds in the dust. That is all we are. Some of us give up, and some dream of the stars.
I just feel like it just needs to go over just a hair, like not a lot.
Diamonds in the.
I don't know, maybe.
Diamonds.
No. Is that it? Why does it feel just a little off to me?
Diamonds in.
Maybe if we adjust this. Now let's try. Adjust the beat grid just a hair.
Diamonds in the dust. That is all we are.
Oh yeah.
Some of us give up.
All right, and then it's supposed to end. We just want it to end because then we're gonna make a this is the mashup for the first part, and then after it ends, we're gonna bring in the original song, and we're gonna use like the DJ mix portion of this to do that. So it's gonna be like a separate thing. So just want to make sure this ends nice. Like,
As long as we're together.
right there. So that's actually perfect. So we're gonna actually do a cut right at the end here. We're gonna select this and we're gonna hit cut, and then we're gonna delete this part, and that's how it ends. So just that's gonna work perfect. That's gonna work perfect. Look at that.
Diamonds in the dust. That is all we are.
Oh yeah. All right, cool. So let's export this. First dance beginning. All right, MP3, all that stuff's good. We don't need no repitch. And we can do the limiter. All right, so we're gonna export that. All right, now we're gonna close this out. I don't have to save it right now. All right, we're gonna create a new mix this time, okay? And basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring in the original song and the first dance beginning track we just made. And then we're gonna have it transition into the actual song. All right, I already put it in the right order for us. We're gonna make sure this, first of all, we'll make sure this goes right to the end, right? So we're not gonna, yeah, so right here to the end. And then it is going to do the BPM thing, which what we need and what we want to do right at the end of this vocal. Yeah, like I want it to start like right there, right? So we're going to bring this over. It's going to be like right there somewhere, right? So we're going to... Don't need much, as long as we're together, together. First shot. First shot? There's no way I got a first shot. As long as we're together, together. So, because that was slow. The first dance part was slow. This is a custom thing they wanted to do. And like, basically it starts off slow and then it does transition BPMs here. So it goes up to the 128 for the actual house drop and everything. Wow, how'd I get it first try? I just got lucky, people. A lot of times you gotta make adjustments, okay? But it's that easy, right? Just... Some of us give up. Just a vibe. It sounds like, especially if you're an old person, you don't know this song. Like it sounds like a regular first dance song. Don't need much, as long as we're together, together, together. All right, and they basically want it to end right here. This is gonna be the end of their thing. So I'm just gonna select like right here. Sounds good. Right, we got this selected. We're gonna cut this bad boy, and that's it, right? Or, I mean, the opposite way too is you can basically take this. If you didn't want to do that too, we could take this here. We can shift here, drag over right here to this point, and then just delete, and it's that easy, right? So however you want to do it, but that's it. So it ends now. That's it, done. Cool. So we do that, export that. I'm not going to tell you the name of the couple, but it was a first dance mix complete. MP3, yep. Repitch order for that. Export and MP3, bang. And that's it. We got ourselves a custom mix, okay? That easy. I want to give a huge shout out to DJ.Studio for sponsoring this video. If you want to try it out for yourself, check out the link in the description and in the comments to download it. Do a free trial, try it out. It'll blow your mind. And I'll see you guys at the next one.